Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to do a custom stamp that you can use to send a card. I have a blank white card and also an envelope I'm going to use my stamp on. And I'm going to demonstrate one way to make it, but you can kind of take this idea and try out all different sorts of textures, sizes, shapes, just kind of using whatever you find around your house. So like I said, I have a blank piece of white card paper here. We're going to stamp that. I have a white envelope. You always have leftovers from those holiday cards. I have a little bit of craft paint and scissors and tape. And I also have what I'm going to use for my stamp today. So I'm going to be using this little jewelry box, cardboard box. It's a little bit stiffer than, like a cereal box, but whatever kind of cardboard you have around the house will definitely work. And I have some yarn here. It's a little bit thicker, I think, than normal, like craft yarn. You could always use twine. You could use any kind of rope or string that you might have. The different textures will print differently. This is really smooth. I know it's tricky to see on camera, but this is a really smooth one. If you kind of have a coarser rope or twine, that will obviously print differently when you go to stamp. But let me get down to making our stamp here. So I'm going to take a piece of tape and tape my string onto the box here. Now, if you're using something like rubber bands, obviously you can just kind of wrap them around whatever sort of base you're using. But I'm going to tape down my one end of string and I'm going to wind it, trying to be very carefully, I guess, around my box. What I'm trying to end up with are parallel lines. And I will be able to move them around, but I kind of want to give it a good framework of nice straight lines. I'm actually even going to add a little piece of tape here to kind of hold my sides. I'm going to put one across the strings there. There we go. And I'll just keep winding it. Basically, the dimensions of the box here is going to be the dimensions of our stamp. So I think that's good. I don't want to try to squeeze anything else in. I'm going to use another piece of tape. Make sure it's nice and secured. And then I'll just snip it. And then I'll kind of be able to play with it just to make sure, again, I want to have even spaces between. So this is what I'm going to use when I'm stamping my card. Okay, so now we're going to get started getting ready to stamp. I did grab a piece of scrap cardboard because I'm going to be printing kind of close to the edge and I don't want to stamp my table. So I'm going to put some paint out here. Okay. And what I'm going to try to do is a pattern with my lines where I go vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. You can do any pattern you'd like if you prefer, you want to try to go for a herringbone kind of look. If you're using something besides string, or you could layer string. I mean, you could do crisscrosses. You really use anything for the different textures of your stamp. Legos or Duplo box, if you have them around the house, they make pretty cool dotted patterns. The only real way to kind of mess it up is to use too much paint. Obviously, you want to be able to see the lines nice and clear, and if there's way too much paint on there, it's just going to kind of be a blobby mess. So I'm actually going to put the paint on, do a sample on my scrap just to get off like a lot of the excess, and start stamping from there. So there we go. Make sure there's paint on everything. So I'm actually going to start in the middle because I want to make sure you can kind of see my pattern. Just eyeballing it and push down. Again, pushing down evenly, but not so hard. Okay. And I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. Try to evenly space it. And it is going to have a homemade look, so if it's not perfectly even or, you know, spaced in exact measurements, that's okay. Hopefully the person you're sending your card to won't really mind. It's the thought that counts, right? Desperate times and all. I'm going to use a little bit more paint. Let's make sure I'm turning. Okay. So you can kind of see my pattern start to fill in there. And then I'm just going to keep stamping away. Okay, so I finished stamping my card. Kind of see our pattern. And like I said, whatever size you use the cardboard, doesn't have to be square, I guess. That's kind of the size that your print will be. Put this to the side here. And then I did have some leftover envelopes, like I said, from holiday cards I never sent. And this is just a nice way to kind of even further personalize what you're sending out. So I'm going to kind of do a half version of our pattern along the bottom and maybe some here on the flap, because why not, right? Might as well jazz things up. So here's our envelope, and you're all set with your beautifully custom-made card and envelope. Thanks. Have a great day.